And today I was a bit occupied, so I thought, okay, let's do something that can still create value, still give you something, but all the while making sure that I don't have to put in a lot of energy. Right. So there are a few topics that I want to discuss today. Let me just give me 1 second. Right. Okay. So since I talk about PTE and IELTS, spoken English, study abroad, my topics are broadly gonna be about that only. So the very first thing that I want to discuss about is PTE preparation. Right. Now, I totally support the fact that you want to go and practice yourself. In fact, I have been lucky enough to be able to counsel or guide or mentor some candidates who had prepared by themselves and they got a fantabulous score. But whether you are preparing with an institute, with a PTE coach, or all by yourself from YouTube, there are a few things that you can keep in mind so that you don't feel lost. Number one thing, right? What mock portals do you should we be choosing, right? Now, as a PTE candidate, you might be knowing that there is a slew of host of PTE mock test portal options, and out of these, which one is the best? I would say, see, I personally know about five portals. One is AP Uni, paid one. We're just talking about the paid one, no free, right? The second is a very B2B kind of portal, which is TCY, right? The third one is Alpha Beta, Guruli Language Academy. These are the five ones. Now, I'll talk about the two that I have had really good experience with. One is TCY, second is your AP Uni, right? Uh, See, when you're choosing between which mock portal to choose and pay for, right? You should keep a few things in mind. First, the mock portal should give you a real experience or an experience that is like the real test, right? If that is not happening, it's not of any use, right? APUNI TCY, they do a pretty good job on presenting to you exam like situations with the proper time management, interface, everything is good enough. Okay. Next thing, it should give you a score that is very close to what you aim to get. Now, this has multiple aspects. I'm not saying that you should be getting your desired score on your mock portals. Of course, that's not the purpose of it. What I'm trying to say is, let's suppose some candidate has gotten a 64 overall with not less than 60, right? So in that case, the mock portal should actually be able to give them a result that is very close to their final result. Of course, this is now connecting the dots. So what I would say is, go ahead, ask your counselor, your trainer, what portal they use. And if they say that our mock portal is going to give you very similar results to what you're going to get in the PT final test, yes, you should choose that. APUNI TCY do a pretty good job. TCY gives you a little less score, but that's fine. As long as you're getting a higher score in the final PT test, that still makes sense, right? Okay, we've talked about which mock portals to choose. How should you prepare, right? This is very interesting question because usually what I've seen is trainers, educators would just go ahead and they would start all questions one by one. This is not how it is supposed to be. Uh, the way I feel it's a good enough option is, first of all, you should go for the base questions. That is, read aloud, listening, fill in the blanks, highlight incorrect words. Both of these question types, that is, listening, fill in the blanks, and highlight incorrect words, have the same skill. After this, you should come to your reading, fill in the blanks, both. Then you can go ahead for reorder paragraph, right? Once you've done all of this, I think the next thing that you can target is the writing section. That is, summarize written text, and then you could go for essay. Once this is also done, now you should go ahead for a little more difficult or challenging question types. Firstly, you should go for summarize spoken text, and then you should target retell lecture. Once these two are done, the next question should be describe image, because describe image, After the scoring distribution changes with respect to last year's 7th of August 2025 changes, describe image is your number one question when it comes to providing scores to your overall PT module. So it's the highest scoring module in speaking section, as well as it has the highest contribution to the speaking module as well. Once this is done, then you can go forward with the two new question types, which are respond to situation and and summarize group discussion. After you've done this, I think you would only be left with 6 or 7 question types. Answer short questions, which is a pretty important question because it contributes 4 marks to the listening module. And then you can go for reading multiple choice questions, both because they are the least important ones. And then you should go for the 4 multiple choice questions in the listening module, that is highlight correct summary, select missing word, and 2 multiple choice questions. This is how you should target. If you want, just comment down. I'll share this sheet with you, wherein you'll get all details of all question types, all the 22 question types, right? Just make sure you comment and I'll present that thing to you. We've done sequence of preparation. We've done which mock portal should you choose. Okay, next thing, very important. When should you start giving mock tests? I'll tell you one thing, right? Once all of these 22 question types are done, it should take you 15 days, around 15 days to cover all of these 22 question types. The next thing that you can do is you could start giving mock tests, right? Why am I saying this? Because all of the mock portals that are paid, right? They technically have a validity. Someone has 1 month, someone has 3 months, someone has 6 months. My argument here is until unless you are not comfortable with the question types, there's no point of giving mock tests. So get your portal started after that point of time. And now, last but most important question about the PT preparation. What happens when you are consistently getting a score that is not increasing? I'll tell you very simply, right? Do a mock test, ask your trainer or counselor to do an evaluation of it. Whatever personalized feedback they give, once they have given it, analyze yourself also, right? Okay, where did I go wrong? Which question type I'm the weakest at? Now, out of the 4 modules, listening, reading, speaking, and writing, pick the module that is the weakest. Sorry, pick the question type that is the weakest. Generally, in speaking, I've seen candidates either struggling with read a lecture or describe image. You can specifically focus on that question. And once you feel, okay, I was getting a 46 or 45 in the last mock test and describe image, once you've practiced it so much that you're now getting it consistently 55 or 60 range, even above 50, and similarly for other 3 modules also, you can go ahead and give another mock tests. If you don't want this time frame, I'll tell you one more thing. uh, what you can do is focus on the most important questions and keep practicing them for 5 or 6 days, and then the next mock test. Okay, so this is also one way you can approach your PTE preparation, and if you get stuck at a particular point and your score is not increasing. Okay. Another thing that I want to tell about the PT test is yes, there have been instances where candidates have uh, been a victim. I won't use the word victim, but yes, they have seen that their audio was not working or headphone was not working. If that is the case, you should immediately report it to your test center supervisor, right? I recently had a candidate who was giving the PTE test and he got a very terrible score. But one really smart thing that this guy did was, I think his name was what, Sandeep or something. So I'll refer to him as Sandeep, right? Sandeep calls me that, sir, in write from dictation, which is the last question type in the PT academic test, right? I did not hear the write from dictation audio properly, and that is why I could not do a few questions, right? I said, fine, report it to your supervisor immediately. 2 days after his test, he receives a terrible, horrible result. And one day after that, he receives a voucher from the PSN official email ID that, okay, we've observed that there were technical difficulties, glitches in your PT test, and we are issuing you a voucher with which you can give this PTE test under, oh, I don't know how to pronounce this name, but is this okay? Hi Yokai Cosmic, hi Murat Ebremov. Oh, thank you, thanks a lot. Right. Okay, so what Sandeep did was he immediately reported he got a score that was very horrible, not eligible for anywhere in Australia. And after that, he receives an official email from Pearson, and what he says is the mail says that, okay, we've seen we've done the investigation, and you actually had a faulty write from dictation audio, so we are issuing you a voucher under which you can give the test anytime in the next 12 months. All right. Now, Sandeep practices for 2 more months and get a score that is above 64 overall. I don't precisely remember his exact score, but see, he gave another test. He was anyhow going to give it because his preparation was very terrible, right? But the thing is, now his smartness, his presence of mind actually helped him to give another PT test at no extra cost. Yeah. So that is what I meant to say here. And this was my portion about the PT preparation. If you have any questions, just comment down and I'll address them, whatever thing you have, right? I'm also trying to cover up uh, different PT question types on an everyday basis. I've already covered read aloud, and I'll be bringing in more videos. So do make sure that you subscribe to the channel and like the video. You can go into the channel history and see all the videos that are posted there. Okay, next section of this live is going to be about IELTS preparation, right? Uh, the first thing is about IELTS preparation I wanted to say is what should be your sequence of preparation. So again, this goes down to whether you should prepare for the IELTS test by yourself from YouTube, or should you join a consultancy or an English test preparation language institute. Lot of questions, I'll try to address them all together. In my opinion, you should not be entirely relying upon IELTS preparation from YouTube. See, I am an educator, I am a content creator on YouTube in this specific domain, and I understand one thing, right? Listening, reading can still be done by yourself. Okay, you can prepare them. Even if you are not as intelligent as people feel you should be to prepare by yourselves, you can still do that. It's the best English test prep that is available on the market, and you can completely do it, right? I'm also rolling out everyday videos about IELTS different question types, so you can subscribe to the channel for that. But your writing and speaking is going to be evaluated by an actual human examiner. There is no artificial intelligence, no algorithm, unlike the PTE test. In this scenario, you will not be able to perform if you have not practiced speaking in front of a real examiner. So, my request would be choose whatever institute you want to choose, but please go to physical classes or get in touch with someone who can train you online. But yes, you need to be sitting in front of the examiner. One thing. Second, what consultancy or what institute should you choose? Now, this also has a lot of answers, but what I feel is if there is some kind of institute in your city from which someone that you know, your elder brother, sister, cousin, seniors, they have prepared for the IELTS and they have had a very good experience. Maybe an institute, maybe a teacher individually, you can go with them, right? Trust me, if they're able to get scores, they are the best ones, right? That being said, don't laugh at me. Please don't cut this, right? Whichever consultancy or study abroad advisor you have hired for your visa process, after your parents and yourself, they would be most concerned about your IELTS test result. So, in a nutshell, right, either you have heard good about them, your family, someone has had good experiences with that trainer, you can go for that. Or I can guarantee you one thing, I work in a study abroad consultancy as an IELTS educator. The director, the visa counselors, everyone is so much excited about the result of a candidate who is going to file a visa with them. So, yes, you should go with them as well. There's no point. They'll push every socket in their machinery to make sure that you clear the test. Okay. What should be the sequence of your module preparation? See, I would say there is no hard and fast rule here. But if you are preparing yourself, I would suggest first go for writing module, then speaking, then you could go for reading and then listening. I think that's the best kind of sequence that you should choose for different module preparation, right? uh Consultancies, which study abroad consultancy should you join? I would suggest that still, okay, I'm coming to the same point. I'm not trying to beat around the bush, but that's how it goes. If you want to go to Canada or Australia and you know someone in your friend circle, family circle, who's gone through that, trust me, that's the best place. But yes, if you've heard good reviews, that's a well established, pretty old consultancy. You can trust the reviews. Most likely, if you don't want to trust the Google reviews, probably you can ask in that particular commercial building if there is some kind of person who is, selling different stuff, groceries. You can also ask them. They would be a good indicator to whether you should choose that consultancy or not. But that being said, be in touch with at least 7 to 8 different consultancies in the starting, and then whoever is able to cater to what you want, right? They are probably a good choice. Okay. Last question about the IELTS preparation is, how do you break free from the point that you've bottlenecked? What do I mean by bottleneck? It simply means, let's suppose you're consistently getting a 5 in writing and you're not getting a score above that, or reading. Generally, candidates get stuck on a 5, 5.5. What you should do is analyze your mock tests and see which is your weakness. Identify one or two question types in the reading module and identify one or two different question types in the listening, the same with writing, and then specifically focus on those modules, right? That is the best way to work your way up. And always have a bit of patience when you are preparing, because see, language is something that you need to learn from the heart. It does not get into your head via the general mathematics and science route. So this is something that takes time, and yes, it would be great if you have a bit of patience. I worked for 1 full year in Gujarat, and I really appreciate one mindset thing, right? Generally, what the candidates would do is, right, they would join their bachelor's course, BCom, BTech, whatever it is, and then they would have a very clear framework that, okay, I will be coming to this institute for 1 year straight, right, and practicing almost every day, if not every day. And I think that slow and steady pace and everything works beautifully for them. That's why they're able to go abroad so easily, because IELTS does not remain a problem. During that while, they can also take care of their financial documents and other things also they can research. But yeah, that's one thing that I've seen as a mindset of the whole state while immigrating abroad. And to be honest, I really appreciate that approach. In a lot of other places that I've taught, usually candidates come from a vernacular background. They don't have a very good hand at English by default, and now they want to cover up everything in a few months. Trust me, that's not really helping anyone. Okay, so to be honest, I whatever I had thought I'd be speaking today, I'm done with that. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section. I'll try to answer them. I can see the live chat. Two people have said, "Hi, trust me, you don't know how happy I'm feeling after seeing your comments." Oh, can I do something because it's my first one, na? No, I don't think I can like that or anything, but yeah, still, it's a good thing to have. Let me know if you have any questions around IELTS or PT preparation, and I would be answering them to the best of my ability. I keep posting videos every day regarding IELTS and PTE, so you can probably subscribe to the channel. I'll be making sure that I cover the whole course in these videos. And yeah, a little bit about me before I leave or wind up this live session. I've been an IELTS and PT teacher for more than 5 years now, and this has been an amazing journey. More than, I guess, 7 or 800, if not 1,000 happy faces that I have been able to serve. And I personally have cleared my IELTS with a band 8.5. And I make sure any person who comes in touch with me, they are able to clear it in the very first attempt they're sitting, because I understand a lot depends upon when you are preparing for the IELTS and PT preparation. So that would be something that I wanted to say today. And I'll meet you tomorrow again with another video, most likely on PTE repeat sentence question, right? Because the second in a row. And with that, I'll take your leave. Till then, goodbye. Bye bye.